Reading. Let's all stand for the prayer. God our Father, we are all your servants. We trust in your mercy and love. We trust also in your guidance. Direct the meetings of this council of North College Hill to make good decisions for all the people who live in our city. Give all the members of this council wisdom and insight to know what is best for our city. Help us to be fair and just in all our decisions. Bless us all to do the very best we can with your help and guidance. We pray this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Please turn, say the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Got the gavel us.
That's fine.
I gotta slam that gavel.
I know. I have limited opportunities. I gotta take advantage.
Sit on it tight, girl.
I understand.
All right. Looks like we're all here.
Dukestein,
Present.
DeWall,
Present.
Underwood,
Present.
Alexander,
Present.
Zorb,
Here.
Blythe,
Here.
Anderson.
Here.
Threw me off.
Or it's the normal order.
Thank you, Mr. Hedger. Would, I see the swearing in is before the agenda. Should we pass the agenda first?
I typically put it there if there is one or at the very beginning, but we can.
Okay. You have in front of you tonight's agenda. Would anyone care to make a motion to approve that agenda?
Madam President,
Ms. Underwood.
I move that we adopt today's agenda.
Madam President,
Ms. Dewald.
I'll second that.
I have a motion for Ms. Underwood and a second from Ms. Dewald to accept tonight's agenda. Mr. Hedger, please call the roll.
Dukestein,
Yes.
DeWall,
Yes.
Underwood,
Yes.
Zorb,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Blythe,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Motion passed, 7-0.
Next on our agenda, we have the swearing-in ceremony for police officers. All right.
Did you want to do the meeting minutes first or no? Nice.
Do they need to excuse Graver? Do they need to excuse Mike?
A little difficult, isn't it?
Good evening.
That's the president of council. He is elected.
What another awesome night. Tonight we're going to be swearing in 3 more police officers to the fantastic police force of North College Hill. It's an honor to be able to swear you in. With that, we won't waste any more time. And you have, is it Devin Davis? You get the honor of being first to be sworn in. If you would step. You'll have to raise your right hand, but if you will repeat after me. I, and then state your name.
I, Devin Davis,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America
and the laws of the state of Ohio,
and the laws of the state of Ohio,
and laws and ordinance of the city of North College Hill to the best of my ability.
and laws and ordinance of the city of North College Hill to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Would you like to address anyone or?
Thank you guys, the city of North College Hill, for having me, and Dom's with me right now. I appreciate you guys so much for giving me a chance to represent, this city. I'm gonna do the best I can to make sure I withheld the Constitution and serve the city of North College Hill for you guys. Okay?
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I had the pleasure of meeting Officer Davis last night. We had an incident on our street, and so I just see the cars going past, so I ran out of the house like, excuse me, who are you? So, not sure if it got taken care of, but I had the pleasure. So next, we will have Mr. Brandon Robinson.
All right, I'm just making sure.
So, if you would raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, state your name,
I, Brandon Robinson,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution and laws
that I will support the Constitution and laws
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Ohio,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Ohio,
and laws and ordinance of the city of North College Hill to the best of my ability.
and laws and ordinances of the city of North College Hill to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
First, I'd like to thank my wife. She supported me in my endeavors. Chief Shran for bringing me back to North College Hill. A lot of people don't know. I worked here at one time back in '98. That's where I started my career. This is where I grew up. I graduated from North College Hill in '92. Lived here, so all my life as a kid. So it's a pleasure to come back here and serve my community where I grew up. I'm looking forward to it, and I'd just like to thank you everybody.
Thank you.
Welcome back home. And finally, we have Doug Rush. We got some little cadets today.
Yeah. Kids are. And that's sweet, all the babies.
You gonna read
Super
it?
sweet.
It wouldn't surprise me. If you could raise your right hand if you can, and then repeat after me. I, and then state your name.
I, Doug Rush,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Ohio,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Ohio,
and laws and ordinances of the city of North College Hill to the best of my ability.
and laws and ordinances of the city of North College Hill to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. And all three of these oaths are sworn by me on today, the 7th of November, 2022.
Thank you for having me, helping protect and serve North College Hill. I thank my wife for, also supporting me on my, endeavors of being a police officer. Also Megan and Chief Shran for getting me in on a last-second interview. I will do my best to be the best officer I can be for the city. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I was just going to try to be brief. I know that's hard for me. Gentlemen, thank you. I always tell everybody that North College Hill and the police department is like no other. We're a small family. Welcome to the family. Okay? We may not always get along, but I tell you, we're always going to be there for you, and we love to have you as part of the family. And we hope that it's you get as much out of it as we get out of having you here. And we're very proud to have each and every one of you. Okay? For council and for everybody, this is the first round and the first 3 that we have hired since we have changed the rules with civil service. And what I mean by that is we worked with civil service on changing the rules to open it up and allow for lateral transfers. And so the 3 of these individuals would not be possible to be here if it wasn't for that, because each one of them comes with years of experience from other places. And I think that that is just a contribute or a attribute to us working well together with the Civil Service Commission, the new folks that we put on there from Pastor King to Eugene Blaylock, and the direction that we're headed, and I'm excited about that. Brandon Robinson, a little bit about him. He was in Laughlin for 4 years. He was here before all of that, Pierce Township, Coleraine Township. He's been an EMT. As he told you, he grew up here, went to North College Hill schools, and was excited to come back here and give back to that community he grew up in. He's got 5 boys of his own, and we're excited to have him here and to have him back as part of our family. Devin Davis was a UC police officer for almost 2 years, also at Elmwood Police Department for a year. Spent some time as a college basketball player at UC Claremont.
Wow.
And there's still times that he drives all over the place going and playing basketball. And we love his addition to our police department as well. And then Doug Rush has been with the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office for the past 1.5 years. He started with us in just recently in October and graduated the Great Oaks Police Academy. And we're excited to have him here and to be able to take him away from the Sheriff's Office and to be able to bring him here and to show him what everything is about here, and we're really excited to see what he can do as well. So I just wanted to highlight those things, and I know it's been a long time coming getting some of them in front of you, and I appreciate your patience, but they're here. They're a good group of young men, and we look forward to seeing some more folks like them coming up through the ranks and taking on the challenge and helping out our community in every way possible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all and welcome. Welcome to this fine city. And you're all free to go. You don't have to sit through this boring stuff now if you don't want to.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
All right. Next on our agenda, we have the meeting minutes from 10/17/2022.
Madam President,
Ms. Dewald?
I make a motion to accept those minutes as printed.
Madam President,
Ms. Underwood?
I second.
I have a motion from Ms. Dewald and a second from Ms. Underwood to accept the minutes as presented. Mr. Hedger, please call the roll.
Dukestein,
Yes.
DeWallen,
Yes.
Underwood,
Yes.
Zorb,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Blythe,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Motion passed, 7-0.
Thank you. Mr. Hedger, do we have any communications for council?
I did provide council with flyers to a handout with a QR code to take the NCH comprehensive plan. It's in the back of the packet for tonight. That was provided by Mr. Mosby. That's all I had.
I'd like to tag along to that. I also have a bunch of flyers and additional, so if anyone on council would like to hand out to any of your neighbors, if everyone could take a couple and distribute as you see fit, and we get some replies back, that would be awesome. Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you.
Now we will move on to our council committee reports. First up, we have City and Community Development and Recreation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We've not met since our last meeting, so I have nothing to report, but our next meeting is next week, November 14th at 6:30 here in council chambers. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Budget and Finance.
We also have not met since our last city council meeting, and we'll be meeting again on the 13th at 7:30.
That's great. Next up, Rules and Public Policy.
Thank you, Madam President. We met on Monday, October 24th at 6:30 p.m. We discussed some of the rules, the proposed rules for council chambers. Would like to reiterate and thank Ms. Clear for her very hard work drafting the rules for our council chambers and the policies and procedures that people will need to use in order to use the space. We also discussed an ordinance that should be on the agenda this evening. Thank you very much, Mr. Hedger. Making additional appropriations, and also a resolution approving the credit card policy. There was no old business, no new business, and we adjourned at 7:34 p.m. Our next meeting will be on the fourth Monday of November at 6:30.
Perfect, thank you. Next up is public safety.
Thank you, Madam President. We heard a report from the police chief, and he kind of talked a little bit about the finances of the police department, stated that his priorities were having trained officers and functioning cruisers. Also gave us some context with regard to how many officers that they're short, and that he's working diligently to fill those positions. He also proposed a payment schedule for the police cruisers based on the surplus in the budget, and the committee agreed to move this proposal along to the Budget and Finance Committee. We didn't hear any news from the fire department during that meeting. We did hear a proposal by Monty Jones for murals that would be painted on the ground. We were informed by the city administrator that council will just need to publicly endorse her endeavor, or their endeavor, and then they can get started with that process. We also talked briefly about the traffic calming study and some solutions for the Galbraith Road Center Lane issue. The chief was here, so we actually got to speak to him about that. We also briefly discussed speed humps. Mayor Nichols also informed the committee that the school district will be providing signs for the streets around the school to help with traffic calming. And the school's actually going to purchase a speed hump for Bising Avenue. There's also some conversation taking place about safety measures on Savannah. We adjourned our meeting at 8:50 p.m. and our next meeting will be on the fourth Monday of November at 7:30 p.m.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions for any committee chairs? All right, do we have any ad hoc reports? I have one from the Tree City Board. There is a request. We have created a Facebook page, and if everyone on council wouldn't mind liking it, so that we can get some traction and maybe get some more people out there. The name of the Facebook page is North College Hill Tree Commission with the number 1 at the end. And it is all spelled out. Okay. That's all we have for ad hoc reports. Now we'll move on to administrative reports. First up is the mayor.
Thank you, Ms. Zorb. I don't want to say pro tem chair, president, but I just have a couple things. One of the big things is, in the past, the city would host a student government day. I had a conversation with Mr. Keith Spangler, government teacher at the high school, and he's really interested in bringing that back. I think it was a really great program for the students. They come in to learn about their local government. They actually come in, for those of you who've experienced it, Ms. DeWald, I don't know if you remember. The students actually come in and represent council members. So there's legislation that's drawn up, like National North College Hill Pie Day, or I think they passed the sunflower ordinance or something like that. So they're really wanting to do that this spring. So I told Mr. Spangler that I would bring it to you to see if it's something that you would consider. I think it's a great opportunity to get our kids involved in the local government. If you do decide, you can pick whomever, and I can pass the information along to be the contact person, but it was generally held in April, I do believe, in April. I did have a question for the tree city board. Were you guys able to look at those trees, or send somebody to look at the trees at Dumley? Remember, okay.
Apparently, there is a historical document. Someone assessed it a while ago, and there's one tree that is in decent shape and can stand, and the other tree needs to be cut down. And we just had a meeting tonight, and the one tree that's going to be cut down, they're going to spray paint an X on it to make sure that spray painting should be done sometime this week, and then Public Works can follow up and have that tree cut down.
Okay. The other thing I had is that every year the city has a holiday party for its employees. This year we want to do something a little different and invite council, some of the members of the Chamber of Commerce, some of the other businesses within the city, just so we all can network and work together. So we've tentatively have set up to have that on December 16th. I believe, is that a Saturday?
No, Friday.
It's a Friday. Okay. On a Friday, December 16th. The time is to be determined. We're looking at having it at the Proctor Center, with Clovernook Center for the Blind. So we want everybody to come out, and we have all the employees. So just trying to do something different this year, to network within the community so they can know who council is, who our administrators are, and, that way. And the other thing, we did receive approval for the senior center. We have legislation for that. We didn't get it until today, but I'm excited about this. I know it was forwarded to Mr. Hedger. Mr. Hedger, if you can send that out to them. We'd like to get that approved. I know it would cause some suspension. Maybe not if we can get it on the next agenda and we can get 3 readings, but you should have that after whenever he sends it to you. I think it's a great opportunity for us.
Can you let us know what are the deals that will it be?
To purchase it for $1.
Oh, okay, so it has nothing to do with bringing it back or
We will,
bringing in employees
so
to support it?
right now it's just acquiring the building.
Okay.
And we need to acquire the building first. I know me and Mr. Mosby had some conversations about what we would do or how we would go about making sure that those activities are still maintained for the seniors.
That's
Right now, we're just trying to get the building so we can, establish some other things to have somewhere for them to go.
Wonderful, great,
Yeah.
thank you.
And that's all I have.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Mr. Hedger, could you please forward that legislation to, who's the next meeting that we have available?
Budget, finance.
Do you have room on your docket that we could, how full is your?
It is very full because
Madam
that's,
President, sorry. Go ahead.
it is very full, because we have the department heads speaking, each of them, that day.
Is there any chance
Mm-hmm.
it could be part of
Yep, 1,000%.
community and development?
Please, yes, I'll take it.
Mr. Hedger, could you please send that document to Ms. Anderson?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And another follow-up question, Mayor, do you need something from council for the student government? Or should we talk about that in committee also?
I don't
Or
think
what
that,
do you need
I
from us?
just think the councils from previous years, they just stopped doing it. I don't think anything was ever written up. There was legislation that says student government, was it month? I can't recall if it was the month or what it was. But I think you probably can do it just with the motion, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Dieters. You can just do a motion to bring it back whenever you decide to do so.
Madam President.
That such and so day will be student government day.
But do you need anything in advance of
I just
setting
need
the
whatever
date?
date it is, and then we just tell Mr. Spangler, and then he'll get the kids ready. But we'll have to come up with legislation that we have, just nothing that really, with no money. I think one of the ones was we make the sunflower the flower of North College Hill, and they voted on that.
Yeah.
Perhaps, Ms. Anderson, can we kind of work through those details in your committee also?
That sounds great.
Thank you so much.
But I would like to, of course, give them enough time so he can prepare.
Yep.
Madam President.
Ms. Wong.
I would like to say that I love the idea of having that come back. That was so fun. It was so exciting, especially for the students. And I believe we even just kind of made it a dedication day for them. This is national, student or whatever.
Right.
Look, but it's really exciting, and the kids really do love to
They
do
do
it,
love it.
especially when they get to sit up here.
And then I believe at one point it was part of their grade, and they got to learn different positions and different parts. So, it goes around. They have 7 council members, they have a president, they have a clerk,
Yeah.
they have a mayor.
Everybody in this room.
I think at the one year, they even they represented the police and the fire chief.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, because I
they
got to
get
hang
serious about it too.
So, and the other thing I'd like to mention too is some of the topics that you touched on the holiday party. I love that idea. Is that also going to include like the planning commission or the zoning commission and folks like that? Because, it'd be kind of nice to know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the senior center, so our hopes are to bring it back up to a recreation type or a community type environment for the seniors.
Yes, that's what it's been. But we don't want to have any activities that would take place during a normal time that they would. Now, the hopes is that we can use it for other activities as well, but not anything that would displace them or their activities.
Great, and even like maybe, because I know the senior center, when it was running, actually would rent the room out on Saturdays.
Mm-hmm.
And, for a fee, of course.
Yeah,
So-
that's our hope.
Good,
to
thank
have.
you.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Next up is the city administrator.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll begin by saying that Friday is Veterans Day, and since that is a holiday for one of the holidays for the city, the administrative offices will be closed on Friday. I did want to remind everyone that we will be having leaf pickup this year on November the 12th, Saturday, November the 12th, Saturday, November the 26th, and Saturday, December the 10th. Many homeowners or property owners may have already received a card in the mail letting people know to make sure that they put their leaves out, they're bagged, their yard waste, Friday night, because they come by pretty early Saturday morning, so I want to make sure that people don't miss that. Also on Saturday, November the 26th at dusk, we have scheduled our annual Christmas tree lighting, which will take place at Perkins. So it's the fir tree that sits out on the Perkins lot. So we are looking forward to that once again. I did want to let everyone know that we actually had a very enjoyable time on the trunk or treat on Saturday, October the 29th. We had several people come out. We had a DJ who played a lot of music, and everybody really had a good time. So it was, and the weather was good. So it was a very enjoyable season this year. And then, as the mayor stated, we are working on that holiday party for Friday, December the 16th at Clovernook Center for the Blind. And that is about it for right now.
Any questions? Okay. Next up is the law director.
I have no report this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is the finance director. They're not here tonight, so we'll move on to call of members. Ms. Dukestein?
Thank you. I would like to just congratulate the police officers, Devin Davis, Brandon Robertson, and Doug Rush. It's very nice to see the police officers being sworn in. It's always pleasant to see the diversity. I would like to give a special thanks to North College Hill Police. They had to respond last Monday to my house, and they were super, super pleasant. It was non-emergency, other than the fact that my dog was launched under my deck and sick. We found out that she's diabetic, and they barrel crawled underneath there and got her out. So I was super, super thankful, because I don't think she probably would have made it through the night had they not done that. And I couldn't get her out. I had tried several times, and so had my son. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And just on that note, it was really nice to see the police officers with their children, to see that there's, dads and active, and that work-life balance is super awesome. And then I wanted to thank Mr. Hedger. He's doing an amazing job. Just some of our last-minute requests, he's just kicking them out there. I know sometimes they're a pain in the butt and inconvenient, but I just appreciate his efforts. And the trunk or treat was awesome for my family and I. We got a chance to get out, dance a little. My son's big on the girls, so that was really nice for him. My little one enjoyed the bouncy house. So it was nice family fun right here in North College Hill. That's all.
Next, Ms. Dewell.
Thank you. I wanted to bring up the point that this Friday is Veterans Day, and to show respect and thankfulness for all the men and women who have served our country, including Mr. Mosby, who was, I believe, in the Navy.
That's correct.
And, sometimes you look at faces and you just never think of them being in the military or have sacrificed anything for us. And I just want to give a thank you to all the military men and women out there who have done so much for our freedom.
Next, Ms. Underwood.
Thank you, Madam President. I too would like to say congratulations to Officers Davis, Robinson, and Rush. Also would like to say welcome to the city of North College Hill. Certainly can appreciate the diversity, and I appreciate their willingness to serve in our community. Also want to send a big shout out and thank you to Mr. Hedger. He just makes doing this way, way easier than it needs to be. We all have another career, with the exception of those fortunate enough to be retired. So just during the course of a busy, hectic day, to be able to send an email at probably the absolute last minute and have him just completely clean that up was just amazing. So words cannot express how grateful I am. Thank you so much. I too would also like to say Happy Veterans Day to, I know all of the veterans. I have several nephews and uncles, one of my brothers, Mr. Mosby. And I appreciate your service. And sorry that I missed the trunk or treat, but I was up in visiting with my son for his last parent weekend as a college student. As an undergraduate college student, we are on track for a May graduation from Rose Holman, so very excited about that. And that is all.
Thank you. Technically, you're next.
Okay. I would like to thank the newly inducted officers, as well as the current officers that we have in North College Hill. I know that it's a tough job keeping a city, safe, and I just appreciate the friendliness, even just the, stopping by and saying hi to your kids if they see them on the side, I just really appreciate just even the small things, so I know when the big things arise that they're always taken care of. Also, we had a great time at Trunk or Treat. I almost forgot about it, and I was on my way to my grandmother's house, and my daughter was like, "Hey, Mom, trunk or treat, trunk or treat." Not speeding, no, I wasn't. And so we were able to enjoy the festivities. She was able to get some candy, and it was a great time by all. Also, I'd like to thank all the veterans. Thank you for your service. It takes a special breed to basically put your life on the line for your country. You have to be built for that, and I just honor and respect that, and I like to thank our veterans and Mr. Mosby. Thank you. And all the administrative workers that work behind the scenes tirelessly to send out the emails, Mr. Hedger and whoever else might work in the office. It's a team effort to collectively get a city up and running and keep it running efficiently, and I like to say thank you personally.
I think I am next up. I would like to say thank you for all the veterans, Mr. Mosby. My father also served in the Navy, so I have a warm spot in my heart for the Navy. A special shout out to Lieutenant Colonel Donald Rowley, who is my nephew, who is up at Wright Pat. And I'd also like to remind everyone to please get out and vote tomorrow. Tomorrow's election day. I won't even put in any plugs. I just need people to vote. Please go vote. Make your voice be heard. And that's all I have. So next up is Miss Blythe.
Yes, I'd like to also thank all of the veterans, and especially one special veteran, my dad, Mr. James Pryor Jr. He lives in Atlanta, Georgia. He was born August 1930, and he served in the Korean War. And he, like I said, he was 92 this past August. So thank all the veterans, and especially my dad. And then just remind everybody that it's flu season. If you can, get your flu shot. And also today, I went to Hawksworth Blood and got my COVID booster shot. So do whatever you can to stay safe this season. Thank you.
Sorry, I was writing. Next up is Miss Anderson.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to kind of echo what Ms. Orb said about voting. I mean, I don't care who you vote for, how you vote, when you do it, where you do it. Just make sure you get out and vote. I think a lot of people, I as a teacher am allowed to say a little bash on education. I feel like sometimes our education system failed us, and how important voting, how important government is, and how it works, and how it's supposed to work, and how it functions, and how important each citizen is to that system. And so I think making sure that everybody knows how important that is, from the oldest person to the youngest person. So get out and vote tomorrow. I also wanted to congratulate the 3 officers who got inducted tonight. I've drove past one of them the other day going perfectly the speed limit. Looked over. I said, I don't know him. I'm excited to meet him. So, and then I met another one at one of our fall fests. So I'm excited to meet the third, and I know that they'll be great for our city. They seem excited. So that is all. But thank you.
Thank you. Next up is remarks from the audience. Do we have anyone signed in, Mr. Hedger?
There is no one signed in.
Is there anyone who would like to speak? We actually have members in the audience tonight. All right. Okay, let's roll on into our legislation then. Mr. Hedger?
First reading resolution number 18, 2022, a resolution to approve a credit card policy for city employees. Second reading ordinance number 11, an ordinance making additional appropriations.
Madam President,
Ms. Dewald.
on the second reading for ordinance 11, I don't have all my notes with me, and if you don't have the answer, that's okay. I can look it up when I get home. Do you happen to know when our first reading on ordinance 11 took place?
Yeah, 1 second.
Because I don't have it on the October 17th meeting. But like I said, I don't carry it all with me anymore.
October 3rd.
Thank you. And there's that fine
Any other questions?
clerk doing all his job. No, ma'am.
Mr. Hedger?
First reading ordinance number 12, an ordinance making additional appropriations.
Madam President,
Ms. Underwood.
I move to suspend the second and third reading for ordinance number 12-2022.
Mr. President, or sorry, Madam President, I'm sorry.
It's quite all right. Ms. Anderson.
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion from Ms. Underwood and a second from Ms. Anderson to suspend the second and third readings of ordinance 12-2022. 22-2? Who says that?
2022.
Mr. Hedger, please call the roll.
Dukestein,
Yes.
DeWald,
No.
Underwood,
Yes.
Zorb,
I need to remember which one this is, I'm sorry. Just give me 1 second. Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Blythe,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Motion passed 6-1.
Madam President,
Ms. Underwood.
I move that we adopt ordinance 12-2022.
Thank you for saying that.
Madam President,
Anderson.
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion from Ms. Underwood and a second from Ms. Anderson to adopt ordinance 12-2022, making additional appropriations. Mr. Hedger, please call the roll.
Dukestein,
Yes.
DeWald,
Yes.
Underwood,
Yes.
Zorb,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Blythe,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Motion passed 7-0.
Thank you. Are there any further remarks from the audience as it pertains to legislation? All right, on to old business.
Madam President,
Ms. Underwood?
I don't know if this is old business or new business, but, so we heard the proposal by Monty Jones during my committee meeting. She had presented a proposal to the entire, all of council, and we were told by a city administrator that we just need to make a motion or something to kind of get that ball rolling. So I'm not sure if that's old business or new business.
We'll do it now on old.
Okay, well, it's old business. So I would first like to ask the city administrator and the law director what exactly we need to do to make that happen, because we're all on board with their proposal to do the murals on the alley.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Mr. Mosby.
Ms. Underwood, just a simple motion that would just direct the administration to work with Monty to produce the artwork that would be located on the public walkways that were designated, I guess, in the proposal. So that's it.
Madam President,
Ms. Underwood.
I would like to move that.
I'm sorry, Madam President. Could the motion include the amount that was quoted? Do we still have that? Or do you need legislation for that?
No, I don't believe so, because it's under the threshold, so we wouldn't need to do that.
I move that the city administration work with Monty Jones to produce the street murals on Alley B. Is that good?
Madam President.
The three murals that they presented to us in their proposal, and that the administration work with them following the guidelines of the proposal that they presented to us. It's very complicated.
Madam President.
1 second.
You're okay. Take your time.
Ms. Anderson.
I will second that motion.
All right, so I'm going to see if I captured what you said. I have a motion from Ms. Underwood and a second from Ms. Anderson to have the city administration work with Monty Jones to produce the 3 murals in Alley B according to the proposal presented.
That's correct.
Much simpler.
Yes.
Mr. Hedrick, could you please call the roll?
Dukestein,
Yes.
DeWald,
Yes.
Underwood,
Yes.
Zorb,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Blythe,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Motion passed 7-0.
Any other old business?
Oh, Madam President.
Yes.
Sorry, this
Ms.
isn't old
Anderson,
business,
sorry.
but I'm gonna keep it in here, because I already said it. I'm so sorry, but I am feeling burnt out a little bit, so I'm gonna step down from 2 committees, if that's okay. I'm not quitting. Okay, this is me keeping from quitting, but I'm gonna have to step down from public safety and rules and public policy, hopefully just for a bit, just for the school year. I'm a little burnt, but if that's okay, I'd appreciate that.
Ms. Anderson, could you repeat those 2 committees again? Public
From
safety?
public safety and rules and public policy.
Are you making a motion to do that?
Do I need to? Okay. I motion to remove myself from rules and public policy and public safety committee.
I don't know if I can help you out there.
I see 1 second, please.
I don't know.
Ms. President,
Ms. Dukestein?
no one say anything.
Madam
I
President.
want her to stay, so I will second the motion. If that's my option.
Right.
I
right.
appreciate your love for me, at least. There we go. Thank you.
All right, we have a motion from Ms. Anderson to remove herself from public safety and rules and public policy, and a second from Ms. Zorb. Mr. Hedrick, could you please call the roll?
Dukestein,
Yes.
DeWald,
If it keeps her, yes.
Underwood,
Yeah, we don't want her to quit, so yes.
Zorb,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Blythe,
Yes.
Anderson.
Am I allowed to vote on
I
myself?
don't-
Yeah, you can.
You sure? Okay. Yes.
Motion passed 7-0.
All right.
Madam
I'm
President,
going to say new business now. What? Yes, I mean, Ms.
with her stepping down, that brings up the vice chair for public safety is open.
It does.
Are you volunteering?
Not sure. I think I am. I'm volunteering to take that
Madam
position.
President,
Ms. Anderson?
I'll make a motion to appoint Ms. Dewald as vice chair of Public Safety Committee.
Madam President,
Ms. Underwood?
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion from Ms. Anderson and a second from Ms. Underwood to appoint Ms. Dewald as the vice chair of Rules and Public Policy. Mr. Hedrick, could you call the roll, please?
No, of public safety.
Oh, sorry. Do I have to say it all again?
I don't think so.
All right.
Dukestein,
Yes.
DeWald,
Yes.
Underwood,
Yes.
Zorb,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Blythe,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Motion passed 7-0.
Madam President,
Steve.
Mr. Ledger. Who are you?
Me?
Mr. Ledger.
Go ahead.
I know we just met. Would you be able to then update our committee members list? To get?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any other new business? Going once? Any other new business? Going twice?
Madam President,
Ms. Stewald.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Madam President,
Ms. Underwood.
I will second that motion.
All right. I have a motion from Ms. Dewald and a second from Ms. Underwood to adjourn tonight's meeting. Mr. Hedger, could you please take the roll?
Dukestein,
Yes.
DeWald,
Yes.
Underwood,
Yes.
Zorb,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Blythe,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Motion passed 7-0.
At 7:51, this meeting is adjourned.
Wow.